if you treat her like a celebrity, she'll treat you like a fan. The quote, if you treat her like a celebrity, she'll treat you like a fan. The overlooked truth in modern dating psychology perfectly captures one of the most overlooked truths in modern dating psychology. Relationships lose balance when admiration turns into worship. What begins as romantic appreciation can easily slip into emotional dependency. When one person starts to pedestal the other, attraction fades, respect diminishes, and the dynamic shifts from equality to hierarchy. Relationships lose balance when admiration turns into worship. Beyond romance, where imbalance appears. This imbalance doesn't only happen in romantic relationships. It can appear in friendships, workplaces, and even family dynamics. Anywhere one person begins to give more energy, attention, and validation than they receive in return. To understand why this happens and how to avoid it, we need to examine the deeper psychological mechanisms at play. Workplaces. Romance work. Friends work. Unbalance. Dynam. Emotional I. Imbalance. 1. The pedestal effect, when admiration becomes submission. In the early stages of attraction, it's natural to admire someone, their beauty, confidence, intelligence, or charm. But admiration becomes dangerous when it crosses the line into idolization. When you treat someone like a celebrity, you unconsciously communicate, "You are above me, I'm lucky to have your attention." This dynamic instantly shifts power in the relationship. The other person begins to sense that your self-worth depends on their approval, and human psychology being what it is, this leads to a subtle loss of respect. Attraction thrives on mutual recognition, not worship. When one person acts like a fan, the other begins to see them as replaceable, like an admirer in a crowd rather than a partner standing beside them. 2. The psychology of attention. What you chase, you devalue. In psychology, there's a principle known as the scarcity effect. The more available something is, the less value people assign to it. When you over-pursue, over-text, or constantly seek validation from someone, you're unconsciously telling them, "My attention is free, constant, and desperate." People, especially in romantic or emotional contexts, respect what requires effort, patience, and emotional stability to earn. The moment your energy feels excessive or unbalanced, the other person begins to pull away, not because they're cruel, but because human nature is drawn to equilibrium. When you chase, they retreat. When you relax into your own worth, they lean closer. 3. Emotional reciprocity, the foundation of healthy connection. The video transcript you provided touches on an essential truth. In a healthy relationship, each person supports and encourages the other. This is the antidote to the celebrity-fan dynamic, reciprocity. You listen, and they listen back. You give, and they give back. You compromise, and they compromise back. When one person becomes the constant giver, the listener, the supporter, the admirer, without receiving the same energy in return, the relationship ceases to be mutual. It becomes transactional, where one gives emotional labor and the other gives attention only when convenient. 4. The hidden reason respect fades. Why do people lose respect for those who adore them too much? Because respect is born from boundaries, not from unlimited access. When someone knows you'll always say yes, always be available, always forgive, they stop seeing you as an equal and start seeing you as a safety net. A person who values themselves doesn't try to impress others, they inspire respect by maintaining self-control, mystery, and self-respect. In contrast, the fan archetype constantly seeks validation, compliments, or approval, creating emotional imbalance. The celebrity starts to take that attention for granted. Over time, this dynamic breeds resentment, not intimacy. 5. Balance. The art of giving without losing yourself. You can admire someone, care deeply, and even go the extra mile, as long as it comes from fullness, not emptiness. Compliment her, but don't idolize her. Listen to her, but expect her to listen back. Be generous with your energy, but not at the cost of your dignity. True confidence in a relationship means being grounded in your own value, independent of how much someone else validates you. That's what makes you magnetic, not the constant chasing, but the emotional steadiness that says, I like you, but I don't need you to feel whole. 6. From fan to equal. Reclaiming emotional polarity. If you've ever found yourself over-investing in someone who gives you little in return, the solution isn't to become cold or distant. It's to rebalance your emotional energy. Start by asking yourself, am I giving more than I'm receiving? Do I feel respected or just tolerated? Am I admired for who I am, or only valued for what I give? Healthy relationships are built between two complete individuals, not one star and one fan. When you operate from self-respect, you naturally command respect. And the irony is, the less you chase approval, the more people admire you. Conclusion: the law of mutual value. The statement, if you treat her like a celebrity, she'll treat you like a fan, is not cynicism, it's psychology. People mirror the energy you project. If you act beneath them, they'll look down on you. If you act as their equal, they'll meet you with respect. The secret to lasting attraction and emotional depth is balance, giving love without losing power, showing care without surrendering self-worth, and maintaining the quiet confidence that says, I see your value, but I know mine too. That's not arrogance. That's the essence of healthy love.